let's put this on this. We're going to loosely follow this guide on GBA temp on a new 3DS or 2DS, and we're going to use this particular version because it has the best possible performance when compared to the forwarders and the 3DX version. You're going to need a new modded 3DS or 2DS, the SD card from the system, and a way to read the SD card. So I've been troubleshooting this for about an hour on both the most recent stable and nightly builds, and unfortunately the performance I'm getting is this, which is not great. Which is funny because 3 years ago I ended up making this video showing Vigilante 8 running on version 1.9.1, and it ran like this without making any edits whatsoever. So I'm just going to install this version and see if I get the same results. And as expected, it is running absolutely flawlessly, so we're going to make this guide based off this older version. If you guys want to experiment with the newer ones, please let me know if you get better results. I'm also going to add a link in the video description, which is a playlist of all the different games I've tested and seem to run pretty well on this particular version of RetroArch. But with all that said, let's start the video. First, we'll put the SD card in the computer, and in the video description, you're going to find a link that leads to all these different builds of RetroArch. Again, we're going to use version 1.9.1. Then we're going to go to 1.9.1, Nintendo, 3DS, and we're going to download the CIA version. Then using a tool like 7-zip, we're going to open the archive we just downloaded, and we're going to extract it. And inside of the extracted folder, we're going to find these two folders. We're going to drag and drop them onto the root of the SD card. And this would be a good time to move over any games that you've backed up and your BIOS files that you backed up from your modded PlayStation 1. For the BIOS, this is the tool you're going to want to use. Keep in mind there is a built-in HLE BIOS. This is just for additional compatibility, though it may not be necessary. In the SD card, we're going to go to the following directory, create this folder if you don't have it, and we're going to take the BIOS file and put it in there. And then we're going to go to the following directory in the SD card. We're going to create these two folders, and that's where we're going to put the bin and queue files of the backups we made. If you encounter a game with multiple bin files, you can use PS Multitools to combine them. Keep in mind, there's also support for CHD files, which are a compressed version of the game, as well as PPP files. I'm using bin and queue because I've had issues with the other versions, but it's up to you what you want to try. Then we're going to eject the SD card and put it in the 3DS. From the 3DS menu, we're going to go to FBI and open it. We'll go to SD card, we're going to scroll down to the CIA folder, and we're going to see the RetroArch CIA. We're going to select it, and then we're going to select install and delete CIA, and we'll press yes. Once it completes, we're going to go ahead and go back to the home menu. We'll see this present, and we'll open it. And now we have RetroArch. Let's go ahead and open it up. So give it a second to start up. It will take just a moment to do the first time install. So after it starts up, we're going to go to load content, SDMC, we're going to go to RetroArch, we're going to scroll down to games, PS1, and we're going to select the queue of the game we want to start. And after you select the queue that you want to play, you're going to see Sony PlayStation PSX Rearmed, and we'll go ahead and select that core, and again, we're going to give it a second to load up the first time here, and then it's going to start your game, and you can fire it up and test it out. Now, not every game is going to run flawlessly, and you are going to experience a little bit of lag here and there, but thankfully, there are a couple of troubleshooting steps that we can take. So one of the most common issues you'll run into is some game audio does impact the FPS pretty significantly. So while the game might be running at 60 FPS most of the time, when certain audio cues kick in, it really ruins the experience by cutting it down to 30 FPS. Or you have some games like Driver here, which you can see already is having some difficulty with performance, but watch what happens when we cut the audio. So we're going to press the touchscreen here to bring up the RetroArch menu, and we'll select Close Content to get back to the main menu. From the main menu, we're going to go to Settings, Drivers, Audio, and we're going to set it to null. We're also going to go to the audio resampler, and we're going to set it to null. So this is only going to be for games that have this issue, so remember, if you want to go back to the previous configuration, go to Audio, set it to DSP Threaded or DSP, and the audio resampler to sync. Then we'll go back to the main menu, we'll select Configuration File, and Save Current Configuration. And then we can go to the history, and we're going to see all the games we played. We'll go ahead and select Driver and Run. And now you'll notice we've gained about 5 to 10 FPS, which is making it significantly more playable. Not quite at the 60, but again, like depending on the game you're trying to play, this could be the difference between having it not play at all and being playable. And there are a variety of other steps that you can use to get even more performance out of it. I'm going to go ahead and link this in the video description as well. For example, after following all these steps, I fired up Vigilante 8 again, and we have even better performance than I had originally. Though, unfortunately, it makes Driver do that now. But that goes to show not every single game is going to have the perfect optimal configuration, so just play around with it. You'll find the perfect setup for your particular game, and you'll have a great time playing it. So in the case of Driver, it was just the CD access method that caused it to crash, so I set it back to the default, and there we go. And check it out, with all the other tweaks, we were able to get it up to 60 FPS. This is awesome. But anyway, guys, that is just the quick and dirty guide on getting RetroArch set up on your system. Again, just play around with the configurations. You'll find something that works perfect for you, but in the meantime, guys, don't forget to like, follow, share, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.